So there's been a lot of confusion on how to mix vocals properly lately. I've seen so many vocal mixing tutorials that are just teaching you the wrong stuff, and it really reminds me of when I started this whole music thing. Like, I didn't know how to mix vocals, and so I would like to share a couple of the things that I've learned a couple years later that have really helped me past, what I thought used to be right in mixing. So you guys stay tuned. We're going to do one video today mixing Logic stock sounds, and so EQ, compression, multipressor, everything like that, all Logic stock. And then tomorrow we're going to do the same thing using native plugins on the same track and everything like that. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you on the next one.
So here we are in Logic. I have this session. It's simple vocal mixed to a 2-track instrumental here, and it's just a little cover song. It's a Lord Liability.
Baby really hurt me, crying in the taxi. He don't wanna know me. Says he made a big mistake dancing in my storm. Says it was poison.
So you probably notice a lot of background noise. I'm just kind of noticing that right now just because I've been mixing quite a bit today. So we'll just gate that out a little bit. Maybe up to -40 or so. Yeah, that fixed it. Anyways, so we're going to be mixing to this vocal sound.
Baby really hurt me, crying in the taxi. He don't wanna know me. Says he made a big mistake dancing in my storm.
Sounds very crisp, clean up front, clear in the middle. Just very nice overall. And this is all using Logic stock sounds. So if you guys are interested, just stick around and we're going to go ahead and create a new audio track here and get going. So first things first, get the vocal here, listen to it dry solo.
Baby really hurt me, crying in the taxi. He don't wanna know me. Says he made a big mistake dancing in my storm.
So pretty crisp, clear vocals up front. From the get-go, we're just going to start with some simple pitch correction using their pitch correction machine here in Logic. I used this for such a long time before I got auto-tune, and it treated me really well. You can automate the response time here and different things if it sounds too robotic at times and you really want a response time to be pretty accurate. So you can manipulate this and get a pretty good use out of it. So this is what it sounds like with pitch correction. She's already a very good singer, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Baby really hurt me, crying in the taxi. He don't wanna know me. Says he made a big mistake dancing in my storm.
Anyway, so just kind of cleaning up some of the little, imperfections, things like that. So we're going to open up a channel EQ, which is over here in the EQ section. You just go to channel EQ and mono. So open that up. And we're going to turn on this low cut filter here, and we're just going to go way high with it, at like 2K or so. And then we're just going to lower it so it sounds right.
He don't wanna know me. Says he made a big mistake dancing in my storm. Says it was poison. So I guess
So I like that. Just kind of cutting out the low rumble, different frequencies we don't need, and especially because it's a female vocal. We're going to take this next band here, and I'm just going to kind of search around this 500 to 1K area for some room noise.
Baby really hurt me, crying in the taxi. He don't wanna know me. Says he made a big mistake dancing in my storm.
Right around 600.
Says it was poison. So I guess I go home into the arms of the girl that...
Alright. We're just going to do one more around 1K to 2K.
that I love, the only love I haven't screwed up. Says it, baby really hurt me, crying in the taxi. He don't wanna know me. Says he made a big mistake dancing in...
So around here, pretty boxy in that area. Just gonna do a nice slow cue. And that's that. Next, we're going to go into the dynamic session. Click on compressor, mono. I like the Studio VCA. I like the tonal characteristics. So in this section, we're going to do some pretty light compression, but with high ratio. So we're going to go to about 40 on the attack, bring the release down to about 20, and then we're just going to mess with the threshold.
Baby really hurt me, crying in the taxi. He don't wanna know me. Says he made a big mistake dancing in my storm. Says it was baby really hurt me, crying in the.
So we're just looking for about 5 to 6 decibels of peak gain reduction there. Next we're going to go over to the multipressor. Again, Dynamics multipressor mono. We're going to bring this down to about 140, and I just like to squash all the lows out. And then here, we're going to widen this band all the way to about 2.5, and this one up to about 8K. Boost this just a little bit.
Baby really hurt me, crying in the taxi. He don't wanna know me. Says he made a big mistake dancing in my storm. Says it was baby really hurt me, crying in the taxi.
Alright, so that's kind of a little bit of a tonal shaper, so here's it bypassed.
Baby really hurt me, crying in the taxi. He don't wanna know me. Says he made a big mistake dancing in my.
So just adding some sharpness, some clear characteristics to the vocal. Now we're going to compress it a little bit harder. We're going to go over to this vintage FET setting. I like that one. Auto gain off again. I usually put the release around 110 and the attack all the way down to 0. Put a pretty hard knee at 8.
Baby really hurt me,
Ratio
crying
5.
in the taxi. He don't wanna know me. Says he made a big mistake dancing in my storm.
We're just looking for about 8 to 10 decibels of gain reduction all up in this area here.
Baby really hurt me, crying in the taxi. He don't wanna know me. Says he made a big mistake dancing in my storm.
That looks about fine. In this next section, we're going to go through here and brighten up the vocals just a little bit more. Going to boost at about 2K. And then about 6K. Just a few dB.
Baby really hurt me, crying in the taxi. He don't wanna know me. Says he made a big mistake.
And also in this EQ, we're going to filter sweep a little bit in this low mid-range here. And really find some of those frequencies that bother us.
Baby really hurt me, crying in the taxi. He don't wanna know me.
So just listen for those loud ones. There's one at 780 here. Just going to bring that down about 3 dB. Widen that Q just a little. Grab another band here.
Baby really hurt me, crying
We're
in the
just looking for the
taxi.
loud
He
ones.
don't wanna know me. Says he.
There's one, 270. And that looks about good to me right there. I don't really like to boost this area up here because when you do that, it just really adds in these, at least in these channel EQs, it adds a very sandpapery kind of feel and texture to it, which I don't really appreciate. So we're just gonna leave that out.
Baby really hurt me, crying in the taxi.
So we're already sounding pretty good there. Next, or last in the chain, we're gonna go to Exciter. Gonna bring this up to about 8.5, 8K or so. And then bring the harmonics down to 5%-ish. And just gonna add some extra like sparkle and shine to the vocal.
Baby really hurt me, crying in the taxi. He don't wanna know me. Says he made a big mistake dancing in my storm.
Now there's some harshness I'm kind of hearing around the 2K area, so in this first initial EQ I'm going to search for that.
Baby really hurt me, crying in the taxi. He don't wanna know me. Says he made a big mistake dancing in my storm. Says it was.
And a lot of that is just kind of, these are not professional grade compressors. You can really tell a difference. It's probably about 75% of the way there on those compressors, I'd say. So we're going to go ahead and open a bus, open 3 buses actually. These are just arbitrarily 15, 16, and 17 for me. So on bus 15, I'm going to open up a reverb space designer. I love that one. I use it all the time. Large spaces, plate reverbs, vocal plate. It's my favorite for vocals.
Baby really hurt me, crying in the taxi. He don't wanna know me. Says he made a big mistake dancing in my storm.
Sounds pretty good. And now we're going to go to ensemble. Don't mess with any of that. Modulation, flanger. And we're sending this as an effect. So in bus 16, we're just going to add these two things. And it really adds some tonal shaping to the vocal. You can hear it here.
Baby really hurt me, crying in the taxi. He don't wanna know me, says he made a big mistake dancing in my storm.
I like that. And lastly, we're going to go to delay. And we're just going to high cut down to about 3K, up to about 300. Same here. Same here. Cool. Just gonna add too much like usual.
Baby really hurt me, crying in the taxi. He don't wanna know me, says he made a big mistake dancing in my storm.
Yep. So just kind of adding some extra body to those vocals. Really just kind of spreading them out and you know, really well there. So before this exciter, I forgot about a de-esser, just because I'm noticing some of those high frequencies are poking through a little bit too much. So I'm going to go over to the 6.3 hertz for a female vocal is where I find works typically the best universally for females.
Baby really hurt me, crying in the taxi. He don't want to know me, says he made a big mistake.
Yep, that sounds about good to me. So yeah, that's kind of the gist of how I mix vocals stock using stock sounds in Logic. So let's go over this and just have a little listen.
Baby really hurt me, crying in the taxi. He don't wanna know me, says he made a big mistake dancing in my storm. Says it was baby really hurt me, poison. So I guess I go home into the arms of the girl that I love, the only love I haven't screwed up.
Nice. So that is kind of all I got for you.
So thanks to everyone for tuning in. If you guys want to see more of these, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more later.